Look at this. It's like disappeared. 8 families, 2 buildings disappears, and we smelling the gas days later from this explosion. This is why we have to have a people assembly. We have to have the whole county accountable. We have to get reparation. This is the roadside of the family. We're here today in our barrios to protest the gas explosion in front of Con Ed. They actually said that Con Ed was the cause of their death. Racism! This explosion! It's because Con Ed doesn't care about poor community.
Esa es una tragedia para la comunidad, pero es una oportunidad para los capitalistas, para los landlords. Antes, aparte de la tragedia del derrumbe de los 2 edificios y las muertes fallidas, han desalojado 7 edificios alrededor. Hay muchas familias en la calle, no hay ayuda. Y, y ahí es donde los propietarios se aprovechan para asegurarse que los que vivían ahí no pueden regresar. Y la comunidad tiene que estar vigilando siempre, asegurarnos que se haga lo que se tiene que hacer. Dicen que ayudan, han salido en el periódico que está la Cruz Roja, que Caldes ha dado dinero. Yo el viernes estuve aquí por la 120 buscando un servicio funeral. Me encontré con una señora en la calle. Era la hermana de una persona que falleció. Ella estaba con vida porque salió a pedir un carro, que iban a una cita, y su hermana murió. A ella la mandaron a un refugio donde había 400 hombres. Ella es una mujer mayor, solita. Prefiere andar durmiendo en el tren. Ella está durmiendo en el tren, no le han dado ayuda.
Con Ed must pay. Con Ed must pay. Justice. Justice. For the victim. For the victim. Justice. Justice. For the victim.
Con Ed is a monopoly. They've made plenty of money. This shouldn't happen. Not one funeral of these members, of these family members, has been addressed. They haven't video cast of one funeral of none of these people. They haven't contributed, they haven't done anything about it.
No more! Slumlords! Housing! It's a right!
It's not fair for us, for the poor people, and for the people who's doing all this stuff to us, and all these fires and all these creations and all these buildings breaking down because of the neglect. And all of us are being homeless in the streets because of the neglect that they're doing to us.
I was living in Brooklyn and I smelled the gas and I called the fire department. The fire department came in, they shut down that boiler and fined my landlord like the $10,000 fine.
Basta ya que el capitalismo esté haciendo daño a un pueblo que se necesita justicia.
Shame on Con Ed. They died because of racism. They died because they were poor. They died because of where they lived. We've come here to stand and march. We stand with this community in this time of tragedy and suffering and funerals and poison air and worry about where many families are going to live next week. We have questions. We want to know where those families who are displaced by this explosion are going to be a month from now. Check this out. Maybe even they want to deepen that gentrification of East Harlem. And if they can't move people out one way, maybe they'll just blow them up until they move them out so they can get richer people in here, which is what they've been trying to do all over Harlem.
They got money out there, so help those families that lost everything. They should help them. They need help.
Como somos pobres, somos humildes, no nos toman en consideración. So se necesita justicia.
There are still Sandy victims there in the shelters who don't have housing. So what is Con Ed going to do
with this new batch. We just increased our number of homeless families in New York City.
If they smell gas on Park Avenue and 76th Street, in 5 minutes, Con Ed would have been there. We want to make sure that on May Day, on May the 1st at Union Square, that we remember the 8 sisters and brothers who died when they shouldn't have died on March the 12th.
Bloomberg's friends are involved in fracking gas in Pennsylvania, and they need a market for that fracked gas. So his friends go, hey, New York City is a great market, so bring it here. He was bribing landlords throughout the 5 boroughs to change their boilers over to gas.
Our government pays $1.6 billion yearly in military aid to Egypt, to military in Egypt to kill Egyptian citizens. And instead of doing that, instead of sending the money overseas to other countries, and one of them of Egypt to kill their own citizens, use this money here. Give us jobs, give us safe housing, give us safe environment. Thank you.
This sister was a friend of Griselda Camacho.
My husband was her co-worker. I never seen her, but it breaks my heart. My husband spoke about her very, very nicely.
Justice for East Harlem.
Make Con Ed pay!
Con Edison.
Give me a murder!
Con Edison.
Give me a murder!
No more.
No more!
Explosions.
Explosion! We're having trouble breathing in the neighborhood still, right now. Yeah. All right.
Justice for the victim.
For the victim.
Make Con Ed pay.
Make Con Ed pay!
Make Con Ed pay.
Make Con Ed pay!
Justice for East Harlem.
For East Harlem!
Justice for East Harlem. Safety for the community.
This attack on this community has disabled this community in addition to murdering 8 people.
For the community. Justice for the community. Housing for the survivors. Housing for the survivors. Con Ed must pay. Con Ed must pay. Con Ed must pay. Con Edison must pay. Safety for the community. Safety for the community. Con Ed, guilty of murder.
Come on, thank you very much. All right.
When I talked to people in Chelsea where I live, they said this was an accident. It wouldn't happen here.
This could happen anywhere. We need to take care of our pipelines, the gas lines, all these developments. They keep building, but they don't check what's underneath the ground.
Racism, not because it's just an accident, because these are people who are poor.
A moment of defiant silence. Raise your fists.
Raise your fist.
And a moment of silence.
Hold Con Ed accountable. We have to get reparation for this, for the families and for the community.
On behalf of the South Bronx Community Congress and La Fuente, which is an immigration and labor community organization, I'm here in solidarity with what happened here.
This is what immigrants face in the United States. They leave in terror, they leave forcibly their countries, and this is the kind of thing that they face here, a bomb, an explosion. And so I'm urging all the immigrant rights activists across the United States to help all the people here whose immigration status is dangerous.
Con Edison.
Give me a murder.
Con Edison.
Give me a murder.
Con Edison.
Give me a murder.
Con Edison.